What's up, everyone? Today we have a Craftsman push mower, high wheel. The sticker was removed, but I can imagine it being like that 6.5 to 6.75 gross foot-pounds of torque engine on here, Briggs & Stratton, of course. And so far, you know as much about it as I do, except for a couple key things. One, the cable works, that's good. Two, you can tell someone's been in here. It's not good. And one other thing is, do you notice something wrong here? Someone decided to take a muffler off. When that happens, usually this turns into a parts machine, and that's generally not good. Parts usually means it's trash, and yeah. But who knows? I do have other mufflers, so we can, at the very least, test it out and see what's going on. Let's do a couple things first before we do anything. Wow. It's full of clean oil. That's something I wasn't expecting. I had the forethought of coming over here with a ability to actually open this while you're on camera. So let's see what we'll do is we'll take this off. Is there a plug? Yes, there is. And we will. Oh my god. I don't think I've ever seen one this bad before. That is something else. Okay. Let's go ahead and put a little fuel down there. Let's see what happens. So in this is 2-cycle fuel. Just going to put a little bit down the throat of the carb past the choke plate. This has the auto choke, so we're going to see if that works too. Because there's no muffler, it's probably going to be loud, so cover your ears. Straight up Cheech and Chong in here. Okay, now that we're not in a smoke show, do you notice that there's a lot of oil there now? I saw a lot of oil in the exhaust port, so I don't know if it's been tipped over on its side a long time, or if it's burning oil, or leaking oil. That oil is completely clean and completely full, a little over full. But that's dirty oil too, but that very well could be clean oil just going through the muffler, or not muffler, the port, getting the carbon and making it look dirty. Don't know which one it is, but I noticed it was bone dry. I'm sure we're gonna have carb problems, but I put a little bit of gas in there. I just want to give it a pull. See what happens, you know? That's to be expected. I mean, it's a mower. So I'm going to take the carb off, and then we're going to find a muffler for it. Get the carb cleaned, put a muffler on there. I might just take the bowl off, to be honest, because who knows, it actually needs to be cleaned. We'll take off the bowl, and if it needs to come off, it'll come off. If it doesn't, then we'll just clean the main jet. Call it golden. First, let's get that muffler. Found a muffler. Some of them are threaded inside and some of them are not. This one I believe is not. So if you basically break a bolt off in there, you're in for a world of drilling and tapping. Having said that, I'm telling you, be careful. Not really sure why someone would take off the muffler. I do know one time. One second. One time I had worked on a lawnmower, same exact thing. Briggs, this style of engine, everything. Might have even been Craftsman, except I think it was green. And the person took it off because they wanted it to be loud because they wore ear protection and their neighbor absolutely hated it. And apparently them and their neighbor were not necessarily on the best of terms. So he made a point to be mowing every single day with no muffler. Imagine that one. I thought that was pretty funny, to be honest. What these are, over time, this experiences a lot of vibration, and if you don't put these back, the bolt can actually start to work its way out. Your muffler starts to vibrate and it doesn't make a good connection, and you basically will lose your muffler eventually, and it will be kind of annoying to listen to. So when you take it off, make sure to bend those back. That just keeps the bolt in there nice and tight. So we have a couple of bad things going against us. One, I put fuel in it. That's probably a bad idea, because then I'll just probably have to take off the whole carb. And two, I said I was gonna not have to take it off, but knowing I probably will have to, so I probably will have to. But let's just try this anyway. Let's take an old towel, shop towel, washcloth, Nirvana t-shirt, you know, whatever. I'm just joking. Don't use that. That's actually probably a good t-shirt. Now, if you have like a Katy Perry shirt or something like that, go right ahead. That is complete trash. And don't say that you don't. We're going to let that drain a little bit. Somehow, even though it has new gas in there, it smells horrible. It really shouldn't be taking this long to take this out. It has a lot of drag. That's usually not a good sign. Yep, still can't take it out. That is plugged solid. Yeah. I have a feeling this was ethanol fuel. There we go. Yep. There we have it. We can clean this up and put it back on. Everything nice and clean. Let's put it back. I don't know when I'll be uploading this. Probably not for a while, because there's others ahead of it, to be honest. But kind of good news. This morning, checked my account and I found that I now have 100 subscribers. I mean, not much in comparison, but it's a stepping stone that I was looking forward to, and I think is an important one. Maybe by the time this actually gets on the internet, I'll have more. And if you're not subscribed, please consider doing so. That way you can see me struggle with trying to put hands in areas that are not meant to have hands in. And I know what I said. You keep your mind out of there. A little bit more. Now, sometimes the bowl seals will have like a memory to them. So if this is leaking, we're going to need to take it off and put a new bowl seal, but we're going to hope that doesn't need that. Okay, it's nice and tight. Let's get this nice and clean, or at least dry. We'll give it a pull. So, I decided that after I looked at it, that it needs to be cleaned. It's just not going to be acceptable. Oh wow, I put it on there good. But yeah, it needs to be cleaned. I looked down the throat and ew. And that's after I cleaned it a little bit. Which is kind of worrisome because that's a lot of dirt. That filter was basically just dirt. So if... well, that's also kind of a problem. The float is sticking. Yeah. And this gasket's petrified. Yeah, this is not good at all. Let's try hitting the other way, kind of work it free. Because here's the thing. I don't know why you're watching this, besides maybe you like it, maybe you don't know how to clean this carb, maybe you just like watching videos, I don't know. But this is my name that has to be on there when I will be selling it. I don't like selling stuff that I basically, if I wouldn't give it to my friends or family, neighbor, whatever, you should never do an extra good job. All of your jobs should be extra good. So I'm going to put this in the washer or the cleaner and then bring it back. Everything's out, looking pretty good. I mean, it's a little questionable right there, but I guess I kind of want to go over this part too. I oftentimes say rebuild the carb. Technically, I'm not rebuilding it. When I say that, I mean, there's really not much you can do with this carb. But if you were to buy a full rebuild kit, you're going to get everything you see here. Probably another pin for the float, probably another needle, Most likely not an actual float though, but you'll get the seat, probably get a Welch plug, which if you don't know what a Welch plug is, it's this plug right here. And the idea behind all that is that you basically replace everything that was considered consumable on it. You would want to clean it very thoroughly, of course. I think you even get new like insulators right here. So you get a lot of stuff. Is a lot of it needed? In my opinion, no. Because this is a solid needle. There's not a rubber tip on it. It's nothing like that. I mean, this is not in bad condition whatsoever. So why would you need a new one? But all the consumable parts, they are needed. Like this bowl gasket. This has no memory to it. It's a fresh gasket. It should last a long time and provide good support. If you have a primer engine, this is actually very critical. You also get this, but I'm not really going to replace that because that appears to be good too. And I don't want to rip it up coming off the bowl. But, you know, in my opinion, I just don't see a reason why you need to spend the entire amount for a couple consumable pieces. That's just me. I don't know. So now, we just want to make sure that is free, and it is. We are going to need this to kind of clean the gasket up. Now, some rebuild kits come with this gasket. Others do not. So, if you're getting a full comprehensive kit, it should. Some of them, like 98% of them, are all the same. So you don't really have to worry about it. Others, however, are just a little bit different. So you're gonna, if you get the wrong kit, then it's gonna be a little rough for you. Well, I mean a little different is just this gasket is a little different. So I'm going to take a wire brush and clean the rest of this off, and right here. Then I'm going to put it back on the engine, and we'll hopefully be able to run. Now that that's done, everything should be good. I put a new air filter on there. I got all that tidied up. And like I said, the oil's good. It's probably still going to smoke a little bit because there was quite a bit still in that exhaust port, so we might be cheese and chonging it one more time today. But luckily I do have a fan. Not going to turn it on immediately, but if it does get too bad, I'll turn it on and I'll leave and go work outside or something. Other than that, spark plug, a good pressure washing to make it look not so outdoorsy, because right now there's enough dirt on there to probably start a small garden. And I think that's about it. So let's give it a pull, see what happens. Very good. That's what I wanted to see. I'm going to let it run outside a little bit to make sure that it's not burning oil because of all the junk I found in there. After that, I'll put a new plug in it, and then I think I'm going to also sharpen the blade. Assuming it needs it, it probably does. Every blade probably needs to be sharpened. It is springtime. So I'll do that, and everything should be good to go. So this is an odd one, but if you, for whatever reason, don't have a muffler and everything has been stored properly, but still isn't starting, then, you know, here you are. Okay, definitely keep on watching. Have a good night, subscribe, and put a thumbs up. Later.